WIBTA if I didn't let my brother's girlfriend have her baby at my house? I'm posting anonymously for privacy reasons. My brother has made a really weird request of me. He asked me if him and his girlfriend could use my house to give birth at. I didn't even know what he was getting at first, but he explained to me that their apartment doesn't have a bathtub, is too small for an inflatable pool, and it would attract too much attention if the birth was there. And the neighbors will likely call the authorities. I have a house instead of an apartment, and I have a bathtub and more room than them. My brother thinks I should be honored about this. I thought this was so weird. I thought they would go to the hospital like is normal, but they haven't used a doctor at all, so I have no idea how it works and if the hospital would ask who their doctor is. My brother said I don't have to be there if I feel uncomfortable. I don't have a problem with him or his girlfriend, but I feel strange at the thought of leaving the two of them alone with my house. I'm a guy and I don't have kids, so I admit to no experience in this area, but I'm also worried something could go wrong because neither my brother or his girlfriend are doctors or have any medical training. My brother and his girlfriend have been saying how upset they'll be if I say no. That the mother being comfortable is what's most important and I shouldn't deny her, and that I'll look like a jerk if I turn down their request because they don't have a backup house. I just don't get why they can't go to the hospital even though I have not said it. My mom also hinted one time to me it would be a nice thing to do. WIBTA if I didn't let them use my house for the birth. Because it makes me feel weird and uncomfortable and I would prefer they use a hospital? Why WNBTA? This is a weird ask. It also comes with other questions and planning. How far do they live from you? Would they expect to live in your house for the last month of her pregnancy? Babies are notorious for showing up on their schedule and no one else's. It's kind of their thing. This would mean that you'd have to have an area prepped for a couple of weeks just in case. It's not a simple matter of them popping up at 6:30 for a 7 p.m. reservation next Tuesday. Do they have a midwife? Where will he stay? Is someone else going to provide the supplies like towels and such? NTA. I would not feel comfortable with a first-time birth with no medical backup planned in my home. I mean, it's a strange request anyway. Plus, it requires a lot of flexibility. You could be on call for 4 weeks, with everything that entails, and then potentially not get your home back quickly afterwards even if all goes perfectly. Direct them to find a doula or medical advice and go from there. There is no need to lend them your home. So her parents, other family members, etc., probably turned them down, and now your bro is trying to strong-arm you. No. NTA. I have seen my sis-in-law give birth at the hospital. And trust me, it's not something I would recommend to take place in your home or bathtub. They can rent a hotel room with a huge jacuzzi tub if it means that much to them. NTA. No matter what, your home is your home. And you get to decide how it is used. But damn if your brother and his GF aren't manipulative. They aren't doing the basics of ensuring a home birth is safe. Seeing a doctor regularly. Organizing a midwife. Having a plan for when something goes wrong. But implying that you need give up your home for their convenience. Also, your mom is tough for volunteering your home. They haven't seen any doctors for the pregnancy? None at all? It sounds like they're into free birthing, which can be dangerous, to say the least. https www.nbcnews.com/news/us-news/she-wanted-free-birth-no-doctors-her-it-n11400. 96. Read that article. There's a good reason why you've mentioned that other medical professionals won't touch this kind of home birth. I don't want to sound dramatic, but I'm sure you don't want one of them dying in your house. I'd be careful about how you approach it with them. However, as if they are deep enough in this mindset, they may belong to online groups that will encourage them to reject any disagreement. Good luck. NTA. NTA. If they have no outside support at all, no midwife or doula, run far away from this idea. Far and fast. There is nothing wrong whatsoever with the basic idea of giving birth outside the hospital. But even what looks like an uncomplicated pregnancy can go sideways with very little notice. Having one of these other professionals there safeguards mother and baby, because they will know when it's time to call in outside help if it becomes necessary. If you let them do this without support in your house and something happens, you could be held liable. Clearly NTA. It is a ridiculous request. A birth is messy with a lot of blood and sometimes poop. If you aren't comfortable with that, don't let them do it at your house. Your house, your decision. Everybody who thinks differently can offer their house. And it is not an honor. I'm pretty sure you can deal after this with a lot of cleaning. NTA. Going through the pregnancy with no medical care at all is incredibly dangerous. There are a variety of conditions, such as the placenta growing over the mouth of the womb, which can be deadly if not detected ahead of time. A firm no is appropriate. What if something went wrong? What would your liability be? What would your conscience bear if you were involved in this scheme in any way, and something happened to the mother or baby? Your house is not set up to handle a medical emergency, and they have no plans to have someone there who would be able to quickly recognize a medical emergency and know how to act. I have no problems with people giving birth outside the hospital. My sister-in-law had her first baby at a standalone birthing center with a midwife. And then next to the midwife, a registered nurse with state midwife certification came to her home. The midwife also provided care and supervision throughout the pregnancy, and would have referred her to a hospital or doctor if needed. That's very different from two people with no training, alone at home. If they don't want a hospital, there are safe alternatives. Opening your home to this utterly unsafe scheme would be Bathtubs are generally not big enough or sterile enough. They need to rent a birthing pool. NTA. NTA. What if something happens and there's a medical emergency? It's your house. You don't have to agree to this if you aren't comfortable with it. NTA. Don't let them use it so they're forced to go to a hospital, especially if she hasn't gone through her whole pregnancy. They're avoiding a hospital most likely cause they can get in trouble if she's been neglecting medical care throughout. NTA. If something were to go awry, then how would you and they feel about your house? Stick to your guns. NTA. First of all, one needs to be prepared for home birth. That means pregnancy is healthy. There's some medical help or doula at the place, and you have some plan B should things go south. They have none of those. Also, it's really a weird request and they shouldn't be surprised you refuse. NTA. This is so incredibly stupid. The reason why people give birth at home is because it's a familiar environment and it's meant to decrease stress levels. So why the hell does she want to get afterbirth all over your house? Have you ever been present at a birth? It's messy. When I was present at a birth, the obstetrician wore big white rubber boots, the sort you see at an abattoir. There was fluid and blood everywhere. It's gross. I had to throw out my shoes as I was splashed, and I wasn't even standing close. Now imagine this happening in your home. Your brother needs to support his family. It's not your job to do this. Your brother, your sister-in-law and your mother are being utterly ridiculous. Info. Why hasn't she gotten any prenatal care? Are they seriously doing the home birth without any doula or some knowledgeable person assisting? Childbirth is a big deal. You can't just wing it. WIBTA. It's your house. If they want to give birth without the use of a hospital, let them rent a place somewhere. It sounds like they're just trying to get out of paying for it. After reading your comments, I think you'd be if you didn't alert someone with medical experience or the authorities. Hospital, cops. Home births are difficult even with proper planning, and are extremely dangerous without a midwife. Your brother would be playing Russian roulette with his GF and child. A quick Google search shows a 4x increase in fatality when comparing a certified midwife versus uncertified midwife. They don't have a midwife. And first-time homebirthers are 37% likely to end up in the hospital anyways. If they are scared about the cost of the hospital, I understand. They will likely incur a hospital cost anyways, after endangering the mother and child. Do not let them do this. Also, if it's illegal, and they have to XFER to a hospital and explain why they were doing a home birth, you might be liable too. There's a reason why most doctors deny home births for first-time birthgivers. WNBTA. NTA. Your house. Your rules. You do not have to allow things you are not comfortable with. And this is actually a pretty big and manipulative ask. Stand by your no. You don't tell them where to give birth. That really is their own decision, when it's not someone else's place. But a free birth, like this, no prenatal care, no birth attendant, is even more dangerous than other home births. It would really be awful to deal with medical transfer. Or worse, have a baby die at your home. NTA. Honestly, if your refusal is likely to increase the odds that they go to hospital, then that's a good enough reason. Why won't they see doctors? The baby has a right to be healthy. Some scary, lifelong damage can occur in birth, for mom and baby.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. AmITheAsshole is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.